All right, take two. This is episode 126 of the Bar is Ankle High podcast, and boy, is that name fitting. This is season 3, episode 6. My name is Katie.
And I'm Garet.
And we're back with working microphones, theoretically.
Yeah, love that for us.
I don't know. We'll find out in like 10 weeks when I finally edit this episode.
Yeah. All very on brand. Every bit of it. So how are things going? How are you feeling?
Yeah. So
this is our first post-op recording.
Yeah. So it's been about 3 weeks, I would say, since we recorded. Because I think the last time we recorded was right before the surgery.
Yeah, right before.
And things are going good. So we went to a comedy show last night, and it was towards the end that I was laughing so hard that I was like, oh, this is what they mean when they say, like, I'm gonna bust a stitch.
Was it like hurting?
It wasn't hurting, sore? But it was like a tenderness, and I was like, uh-oh.
Yes.
But so yeah, otherwise, like, my incisions feel fine. There's like a pain. So for those who don't know, or who for whatever reason are picking this episode to start with, what a choice. Yeah. But a few weeks ago now, they were in happy International Women's Day, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
It's
as we were joking about not needing to read anymore.
Whoops.
Fuck.
So anyway, it's March 8th. About 10 days ago or so, I had a RU-NY or RNY gastric bypass surgery. And so I'm 10 days-ish post-op, about a week and a half. And so that surgery is done laparoscopically, generally speaking. So I have 5 about 1 to 1.5 inch incisions around my belly. And there's the very bruised one on the left side that I was told that's where they put the stapler through. So that's why it was so bruised, because it's a bigger instrument that's going through that hole. And I was like, you could have made the incision bigger. It would not have bothered me.
Like an extra inch would have been fine.
Yeah. Like, I mean, I guess I get it, but it's also like a horizontal scar. So I think those generally tend to heal more naturally than a vertical scar. So whatever. In any event, there's that one. And then about maybe 5 inches towards my midline, there's another 1 inch incision. And like right in the middle of those two, when I bend like all the way over, like if I'm scooping the litter boxes, for example, there's like a pain, and it feels like a pulling almost. But like, I mean, it's not like, it doesn't like knock the wind out of me or anything like that. So I have my follow-up on Wednesday. So, I'll see what the doctor says if there's any concern, but I don't think that there ought to be. And otherwise, I just am so bored of food that it is a great diet plan, because I have exactly no interest in eating, because I am so sick of liquid food. So hopefully on Wednesday I get cleared to at least do soft food, so I can have like eggs.
Soup.
And I've been having like tomato, like very thin soups. Yeah. But it's like it's very difficult to have a soup that has protein in it when it's just effectively flavored broth. So unless you do like bone broth, which is fine. Like I've had bone broth a couple nights for dinner, which is great in the sense that like it's not really heavy as in the grand scheme of the thing.
There's like flavor.
Yeah, like between a protein drink and bone broth, if I'm not feeling particularly hungry, bone broth is less of a commitment, I guess.
Yeah. I've been making a point not to mention any foods to Katie, which has made me realize how often we generally talk about food. We talk about food all the time.
Yeah, it was. I was like, oh wow, Garrett's really busy lately. She's not really texting me. Like, okay, like I'm not gonna bother her. Like,
also that. That's
like,
also
and I
valid.
know that you've gone back to work full time, so I was like, she's just probably tired and whatever. Like, you had told me that you were extremely tired the other day, so God. I was like, yeah, I'm just not gonna, like, annoy her with my friendship, and so.
Don't worry, she'll send you memes when she finally gets a chance to check her phone, and
that's true.
Katie will get a batch of probably 30 memes from me like, oh, okay, let me make up for lost time here, and okay, now I have to go back to what I'm doing.
Which honestly makes me feel less bad and less feral when I send you a barrage of like posts or whatever.
They're equally feral what we're sending back and forth, so that's fine.
Yeah. But anyway, otherwise the surgery went well. No complications or anything like that. I'm hoping that I'll actually be able to get off my antacid medication. Like so far,
right? Because they fixed your hiatal hernia, right?
I think so. I'm not sure. Before the surgery, the doctor told me that she would take a look and see. She was like, with weight loss, it can like kind of resolve itself because there's less fat basically pushing my organs up against
like less pressure, right?
Right. And so she was like, I'll take a look. But like, I do feel like she probably did at least like put a stitch in it or something because I do have to take a lot of vitamins now. Again, for those who don't know, the RNY, any gastric bypass surgery, but the RNY specifically, it induces weight loss in addition to making your stomach about the size of a plum. Or like think of like an egg, which is more in my wheelhouse of like a size.
Yeah, that's true.
But so like the size of an egg, it makes your stomach the size of an egg, but also it bypasses a lot of the digestion that happens in your stomach. So it's a malabsorption is what causes the weight loss. So you're not absorbing all of the fat in particular, but other nutrients from the food that you eat.
Which is very little anyway. Like the volume is much lower.
Correct.
Plus what you're actually getting from that is so much diminished.
Yes. And I am definitely a volume eater. Like I always took comfort in volume eating, which when I was learning to eat more healthily was kind of an easy thing to overcome because I love vegetables. Like I don't have a problem with vegetables. So it was very easy to like bulk up like a pasta dish with like a shitload of kale and spinach and like all those things. So like that wasn't a problem for me, but now
you need the opposite.
I really can't bulk up anything.
Right. You need something small and nutrient dense so that like,
So, but as a result of the malabsorption, I have to take like specialized vitamins. So I have to take a multivitamin with iron in the morning. And then at noon, I take calcium. And then I take another calcium supplement like before bed. But the calcium that I take, all of my vitamins I got from this company that specifically does vitamins for bariatric patients. And the calcium tablets are like a
horse pills
tablet, and I have to take 3 of them for a serving size. So I'm taking 6 of these pills each day. And like it's better now, but like right after the surgery, they were like, you just have to sip your water. And I was like, okay, sure, no problem. Sip, like no gulping. Got it. No, it was like a church sip of wine. Like it was truly a sip.
Yeah.
So
how do you do that when you have to take giant pills?
1 pill at a time.
Oh.
So
still.
So now I'm able to at least get them all back at once. But the reason I think that she may have put a stitch in my hiatal hernia is because I can like feel them kind of like having a traffic jam at the bottom of my esophagus. So there's like a good amount of pressure. So it doesn't feel like indigestion, but it's
right.
Like,
there's sensation though.
There's like a log jam.
Right.
So that's where I'm at. But yeah, otherwise, like I said, I'm just like over it. And, you know, what I would give for like that
a sandwich
corn chowder I make, just a spoon, like 3 spoonfuls of that obviously would be the whole meal. But like, oh my God, it would just be so good. So actually I did, I don't know if I've ever, I know I've shared the mac and cheese recipe.
Oh yeah.
So that chef, I'm on her like Substack listserv. And so she sent out an email with a recipe for Italian sausage, like, or roasted Italian sausage and gnocchi soup. and it looked so good. And I was like, I'll definitely be able to eat this, I think, after Wednesday.
That's one of my favorite Katieisms, when she says something really confident and then immediately follows it up with something less confident. I can definitely, I think, maybe eat that.
I'm pretty sure. Like, worst case scenario, I just don't get the gnocchi. But like,
yeah. Or if you just
case,
like, I mean, also I feel like chewing things like
that's my understanding
to death.
As well, is that you just kind of chew till it's pure.
So your stomach's doing less work.
Exactly. And realistically, the food is really normally food will stay in your stomach for about 90 minutes before it passes into your intestines. And now like the maximum time in my stomach is about 30 minutes. So it's like currently I'm having about 3 protein shakes a day, and then filling the rest of my time with caffeine free and 0 calorie drinks, or mostly 0 or almost 0 calorie drinks. And the when you switch to like pureed or soft foods, you go from having like 3 to 6 meals a day to like 3 to 5 meals a day, and then like 3 to 4 meals a day. So like theoretically you're going up to just a 3 meal a day type thing. Once you can start like eating more, and like if I can just have a bite of chicken as opposed to having to like emulsify it or whatever, which I refuse to do. I will just simply have the canned chicken breast and take little bites. I'm not going to eat cat food. So
yeah, that would be what that is. Yeah. As you said that, I almost gagged. So
you're welcome. I have a whole bunch of cat food here, actually. So I got a whole bunch.
Oh, perfect. So in case you get snackish.
Yeah. And
your doctor would be like, yeah.
That's duck and chicken and salmon. So that's like, I mean, what more could you need? That's what Cole says.
Meanwhile, Sophie's under the table like, don't you fucking touch it.
But yeah, I mean, otherwise it's really not that bad. I have had like a little bit of anxiety. Like every once in a while, it's like a couple days. Like I said before, I've been getting like excellent sleep since I stopped drinking caffeine, which like fuck off. But and I used to always get up in the middle of the night at like 2 or 3 a.m. and go to the bathroom. Haven't needed that either. And I don't know if it's the lack of caffeine or the lack of wine. Because I would pretty much have wine every night. Whoops. And
times is tough.
Yeah. And so I don't know which it is, but either way, I do appreciate that I'm not getting up at 3 o'clock every morning and disrupting my sleep. And oh no, I forgot what I was going to say.
Oh, man. I hate when that happens. That's a cute sweater, by the way. I like that. It looks very cozy.
I got it at Eddie Bauer because they're going out of business. So
I know.
Yeah, it is very cozy and it's extremely soft. I don't know what it is. Let me see. I don't know if it's cotton. It's definitely not wool. I can tell you that much. Oh, there's no tag.
I'm real bummed that they're going out of business. I've gotten some. Man, like my favorite coat I've ever had was from Eddie Bauer.
So I got that shorter coat from them after Christmas or right before Christmas or something. And the only thing I'll say is that their winter coats at least tend to run kind of small, I think.
Oh, for sure. Yeah,
and
for sure.
It's kind of weird. Like it's almost
like absurdly small.
And they have them labeled as like women's and men's, but like the women's coats do not seem to accommodate hips. And like
or boobs. Yeah.
Yeah. Like it's very,
yes.
I guess like it's almost like they're designing it for like that, especially like ultra marathon runner or like very outdoorsy, intense, like body type. That's very, like straight up and down.
Yes.
And so that's the only thing like, and I've been,
yes. No, I found the same thing. Yeah. The same issue.
Yeah. And so it was just that sort of thing where I was like, because I've been scrolling Facebook Marketplace, just saving some posts, which I don't know that they'll necessarily be available when I need them. But regardless, and I only seen one with an Eddie Bauer jacket that says like, oh, it's a large, but it fits more like a medium. And I was like, that is accurate.
Yeah,
That is,
like it almost felt like it was running like a size and a half smaller to me.
mm-hmm.
Like at the time, because I think at the time when I bought mine, I was like in clothes wearing a medium and had to buy the coat in an XL. Because also like wintertime, you're wearing thicker clothes. So
It's
I
so
can't.
funny. And that's such like a genuinely winter climate thing to say and do.
Yeah.
Because like it's like I have, when I lived in Florida, I had to do this. I told my I have a colleague who grew up in Texas and then lived in like went to law school in Ireland. So they don't really have like true winters in Ireland. It's very temperate.
Right.
And I, before the couple of huge storms that we've had, because she's down in New York City, I was like, hey, this is how you need to prepare for a winter storm. And these are the things to like make sure that you just happen to have on hand. Like right now the stores are going to be running out, but like after the storm is over, get these things so that you just have them. And she was like, Jesus Christ. And and I was like, I mean, yeah, like most often you don't need them, but just in case, like it's good to have these things. And like, this is like, I gave her tips on, because she doesn't have a car, but her roommate does. And so I was like, if you have to be in your car or you get stranded, like this is how to stay safe and, you know, not run out of gas and let people know that there's a person in there and whatever, and also not die from carbon monoxide. So I was like giving her all these tips. But one of the things was like, you get your coat like a little bit bigger than you need it because you're going to wear a sweater like this under it. And like, you're going to wear layers. You don't take off all your, it's not like with kids, you're not supposed to put them in a car seat with their jacket on or whatever. Like you don't take off all of the clothes before you put on your winter coat and then schlep all of these layers with you to wherever you're going. You just wear your clothes. So, which also generally for the most part, you don't need a jacket that is, you know, cleared for negative 40 degrees Fahrenheit weather. Like you don't, because you're wearing layers, you dress for the weather. But it is one of those things. Like I remember growing up that my mom was always like, do you think you could fit like with like, especially like winter boots, can you wear big socks with them? Can you wear 2 pairs of socks with them? Like those.
Also having big, thick wool socks are clutch that are tall. So you can pull them up over the bottom of your pants and then put your whole thing with the sock and the pants inside your boot.
So that your pants don't ride up and
and you don't use your boot like a shovel and just fill it with snow.
Right. And
or like never going anywhere without good chapstick and tissues, because your nose will run and it'll drip on your face and your lips will get windburned. And there's from a sensory perspective, there's few things that are as miserable as windburned lips, because then you just lick them and they get worse.
Yes, and they keep stinging. They just sting all the time. So anyway, this is our talk about the vernal equinox and how it's coming up.
We're so close to spring. My daughter said to me this morning, I'm going to build a snowman. And I was like, I think you need to evaluate the snow outside before you say that. It's almost gone. Thank God.
Maybe she could just build one out of blocks and pretend it's a snowman.
Yeah, I think it's just the whole winter. Every time it snows, she's been asking me to build a snowman. And every time I have to be like, it's not technically snowman snow. This is like powdery snow. And to a toddler, that's like...
Yeah, there's no explaining it. To be fair, I still a lot of times don't accept that explanation. And I know.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, when we got those 18 inches of snow, there was no chance. It was basically confectioner sugar.
It was so powdery. It was so, which is like kind of a nightmare for clearing it, because then it just
went everywhere.
Blows. Yeah. And it was also, I feel like, windy with that storm. And this has been a very brutal winter.
Yeah, we've had a lot of snow, which actually makes me very excited for how my garden will do this year.
Hopefully, yeah.
Because I feel like it's been a while since we've had like a true snow and then like something to melt to like
Right.
fucking saturate the ground a bit.
Right.
And, you know, kill off the nasty bugs and whatever. Like we've been so mosquito-y lately. I'm wondering if we'll have a little bit of a better time, but I've already stocked up on my like anti-mosquito yard
That's a good
spray.
idea. We did do those they call them like mosquito death buckets or something.
Oh yeah.
I did a bunch of those last year. We had the worst mosquitoes I've ever had in my life. We had here last year. Like we were running from the house to the car.
Ugh,
because
gross.
you would get, I mean, like a literal swarm of them. I tried to take a video of our backfield, and you could see the mosquitoes swarming my phone.
Oh yeah,
as I was like
video.
panning. It was just disgusting.
Yeah.
So yeah, that I'm not looking forward to for sure. I think I am gonna get one of those bug net things, the hats with the bug nets attached to it. Because like I can wear long sleeves and stuff, but like I can't keep them off my fucking face and out of my eyeballs and my ears. Yeah, so I'm gonna be doing that.
I actually got effectively one of those hats, but for our patio umbrella.
Oh yeah, because you were looking for like a thing, right?
Yeah, and it like sits on top of it like a crown, basically, and just goes over it like a malaria net. And
yeah, whatever it takes, you know. Like I love being outside, but
yeah, and I'm like, I just cannot stand the bugs. I cannot be bothered. I also got some of like the mosquito coils so that we can at least also have that on the table. But like I would like to, like, we have this PK's mother gave us her patio set, and it's like really heavy duty metal table and chairs, and so we leave them outside year round, but like we never use them because it's fucking horrible out there.
Yeah,
so
because then by the time the bugs settle down, it gets to be hot as balls outside.
Exactly.
So it's like no matter what, and I hate that because I love being outside. And really the nicest part of the summer last year, the bugs were so bad, which I know some of that is also like global warming or climate change.
But I'm still not cut out for it. Okay. Like I was not born in a time when there were just bugs everywhere. Like I remember saying to my friend Jess, that you met at my wedding, because she has her degree in cultural anthropology, and they host a backyard camping event one weekend every summer. So all their friends come over, they bring their tents, and it's just like, because they have a half-acre backyard.
Mm-hmm.
And everybody just sets up their tents, they play volleyball, and it's just like a cool weekend to chill, and like everybody kind of gets together. And it's really cute. But I was like sitting there one year and I was like, oh, these bugs, how do people deal with it back in the day? And she was like, well, they used like smoke, and they'd have like a fire going, and the smoke would deter the bugs, and they had some herbs and stuff. And I was like, well, I need it. Freaking the fuck out.
It's not enough. Because it does, honestly, it sends you into like an overstimulation. Like,
yes.
We used to, our old house, we didn't have, the mosquitoes weren't as bad as we had these like
ticks all the time.
We had ticks, but we had these like gnats that would specifically fly into your eyeballs and in your ears and like up your nose. Ew. So like, and they would swarm your head. So you would be outside. It was like almost like black flies
shit under your chair.
Oh my God. Now I just have one shitty dog left.
Ugh. As she looks over her shoulder.
He's asleep in the chair right now.
Are you sure he's asleep?
Listen, that's wishful thinking at this point. He's asleep. He just moved. But yeah, we had awful gnats that would fly into your eyeballs. And it was just like, I would get so overstimulated that it would be like, fuck this. And then I would just go in the house.
I can't believe you didn't have one of those bug net beekeeper hats already, having lived there, because you had
my aunt was using one, and I was like, I'm gonna get one of those.
And she's like, nobody was autistic when I was a kid.
Autism didn't exist. It wasn't a thing. Now everybody's got autism.
I don't know if that's your aunt's opinion. If she listens, I'm sorry. That was
she doesn't, and I have no idea.
But yeah, I'm surprised you didn't have one already. But for those who don't know, or who don't follow Garet on social media, I don't think we've ever really shared. Maybe we have, but it would have been a long time ago if we shared any pictures of your old garden.
Oh yeah.
But Garet had this like beautiful like backyard garden setup that was like fully enclosed with like a very high fence to keep their deer out that they had regularly in their yard. But it was just like very like it's my dream enclosure. Like
I loved that garden a lot. That was a great garden.
In a couple years, that's my goal, that my backyard will have that kind of enclosure. It doesn't need to be that high, obviously, but like something more permanent.
It was like a fortress.
But it was also like conducive to spending time out there.
Yeah.
Because it was like so organized and clean and all these things. It was, you know what I mean?
Yeah. And we also chipped the whole thing. So that we're trying to like cut down on bugs with less grass. And we had like chairs out there. Like it was nice to, and I would I would literally just sit out there sometimes.
Cause I would hang out in my garden. That's very rinky dink in comparison. And, but I can't, I wouldn't, although I did actually think about getting one of those like water mister things to put on the hose to also keep the temperature cooler this summer.
Yeah.
Because I saw one on Marketplace. It was definitely overpriced. I was like,
that's what they do in like Florida, like outside. Sometimes they'll have like misters, which is like so refreshing.
It is. And I mean, it does reduce the temperature by like 20 degrees. And when it's 95 degrees out, that's perfect.
Yeah. Then it's comfortable.
Make it 75 and I'm good to go. Even
I'll
if
be
I'm
damp.
in the sun, like,
right.
yeah. And, yeah, like, and that's the thing. Like, I'm wearing summer clothes. Like, I'm not out there in my work clothes, like,
right,
trying to enjoy the weather,
dripping.
Yeah, just it's either sweat or my mister, and we'll never know. But yeah, so I think I'm gonna get one because the one I saw on Marketplace, I was like, I'm pretty sure I can get it for the same price new. So like, and I don't have to overcome my social anxiety and meet up with you somewhere. So like,
I couldn't stop myself. There was one lady that had like a very average, it was just like a cabinet, like not, or like a dresser or something. And she listed for $800 and I couldn't stop myself. I wrote her a message and I was like, is this really $800? Is that the actual price?
Did she like, is she like a furniture refinisher? Like, does she flip furniture?
Oh no, it wasn't a flip. This was just like a boring oak dresser. And she had a list for $800 and I literally laughed and I was like, is this a real
price? The description also say, you must move. It's on the second floor. Bring help. I will not help you.
I was just like, and she never messaged me back, which was a bummer. I was kind of hoping she would.
It's so strange she didn't engage with that welcoming introduction.
It was some fucking bullshit that it was $800.
Oh, there's like some shit on there where I'm like, no. Because also, if I'm taking your furniture, I am risking getting haunted. You could just be getting rid of a haunted object.
I'm risking getting haunted. I'm risking bed bugs. I am risking getting kidnapped.
Yeah.
Like, fuck out of here, $800.
I saw a video, which I think I must have sent it to you. But it was like a guy driving in his truck and he's like, on my way to meet somebody on Facebook Marketplace because my wife doesn't want to get kidnapped. So I'm going to meet up with a guy whose wife also doesn't want to get kidnapped.
Yes. And that's always what it turns into, is just like husbands basically exchanging things. And I'm like, well, that's a tax. That's the tax that you pay.
That's what you get for, getting to look at this.
Yeah. You want your house to be decent looking without me spending a fortune? You can go pick up my Marketplace shit.
I need to get better at heckling, though. Like, I need to get better at just being like, will you take half of what you're asking?
Oh, I do that immediately without seeing it. Like there's specifically a thing that I've been looking for. They call it a honeymoon set. And it's like a little rattan table and chairs. Oh. Nope. Oh. And the chairs fit underneath the table. And the table has a little glass top so that it's just like a little itty bitty, like it is small. And I found one and I've been like looking. And it's just one of those, like I have a handful of things that I'm always looking for on Marketplace. Yeah. And that was one of them. And somebody like in town listed one. And I was like, fuck yeah. but it was $350. So I wrote her an email and I was like, or a message,
Go
and I was
to
like,
Lowe's
hey,
and get one for brand new then.
well, I can't, but I can't find like a new version of these. So,
Right.
I asked her if she would take $250, and she was like $300. And I was like, how about we split the difference of $275? And she was like, yeah, that's fine. And I said, I can come pick it up like this day or this day. And we were getting to the point of settling a day and time, and she fucking sold it to somebody else for full price. And I was like,
did she tell you that she sold it to somebody else, or did you just get a notification of like an item you saved?
First, I got a notification that it was marked sold, and then she messaged me and she was like, oh, sorry, somebody offered full price. And I was like, oh, fucking, that's shitty.
Yeah.
Made me mad. But anyway.
That's fair.
So today I thought we could talk about, I heard this really cool story on NPR recently, because I'm a NPR nerd. And they were talking about this kind of like newer trend where people are using Dungeons and Dragons like therapeutically. So they talked about like a few different examples. One was they talked to this woman who's a speech language pathologist, and she specifically works with kids with autism and ADHD. And they construct the game. So they do it in like, it's like specifically done in a therapeutic setting. So they've got like a group of kids that are peers, and they all have specific things that they're looking to work on in therapy. So sometimes it's like a soft skill. It's like, like I want to be better at asking for help. And sometimes it's more of a hard skill. Like, maybe I'm not good at like describing things, were the two examples they used. So they'll have like, a challenge where this character can only progress to the next stage if they can ask one of their counterparts for help, or this monster can only be defeated if you describe them really well. So there's like, they did it in a kid setting, but then they also talked about how
this guy who
he's former military and deals with PTSD. And he like got in touch with, I don't remember if it was his therapist that got him in touch or if he found the group. But they were a group of other veterans who were doing this therapeutic Dungeons and Dragons thing. And they have like training courses for people who want to be like dungeon masters and do this therapeutically, which they've had, I guess, a couple thousand people like graduate from this program that they offer. So he joined it, and it's all of these, I think it was all men that were looking to work on their PTSD. So they're like, they construct the game around these different things that everybody has to work on, and allows them like in real time to work through these different issues that they have, and people having like breakthroughs while they're playing Dungeons and Dragons in a setting that's like controlled with peers.
Maybe you'll get to this, but like with the PTSD, is it like the world that they're in is like Iraq in 2006, or like?
No, it's like, so one of the examples they used is there was a guy in his group who, one of the big sticking points for him with his PTSD was he had a friend who had died that he was not able to save. Ooh. And in this game, there was one character, one of the guys, the only way he could work through this was like asking for help or something. The only way that this guy could progress was to save him from the situation he was in. And they had to like stop the game because this guy had just like a breakthrough and like an emotional release and just like sobbed. So it's like, it is legitimately helping people create these, which I guess is kind of always how people have utilized Dungeons and Dragons, maybe just like on a.
Well, it sounds like it was able to give him closure that he wasn't able to find in reality.
Right. Because I mean, I feel like otherwise you're just working through, you're just reliving the same scenario.
Well, yeah, or just like carrying that guilt with you or whatever.
Right.
Yeah.
Whereas he was able to kind of like soothe that a little bit by being in this setting and saving a friend. So it was just like, I thought it was like the coolest thing. And they said that it's really become kind of this like niche style of therapy where and I think in a group setting is probably really helpful too, where you're talking to peers who have the same struggles
or who are also at least trying to work through something, as opposed
right.
to like, I don't D&D experts or like whatever, who are just there to like facilitate the game, but don't necessarily have any vested interest in like I'm not to say that it's not a vested interest, but like a similar vested interest in
like everyone is there
the
with a common goal.
Right.
You know, it's like, they're not just playing, but otherwise in looks and function, it is exactly like Dungeon. Like they said, they had a bunch of kids there. It was like tween boys, and they had snacks, and they were all hanging out and laughing and playing and joking, but also like verbally talking through these different things that they had to do and like ways to handle it and possible outcomes. So it's almost like you're allowing them to practice something in a safe, controlled setting.
Well, it's like low stakes. Like,
yes.
When I worked at like my very first job at Dunkin' Donuts, we always had a lot of folks from like day programs come in with their helper, and they would basically practice counting out money when they were paying for their items. But like, if there's a line or there's a lot of noise or whatever, like it can just throw off everything. And like,
I can barely handle counting money.
Don't even get me started if somebody after I push the button gives me different change. Fuck it. Unless you're going to give me the exact 83 cents, get the fuck out of here.
Yes.
Yes. And my mom is texting me about joining different wholesale clubs. I'll talk about it at the end. She had a little bit of a crash out the other day.
Tracks.
But so like when it is that sort of thing where you're all vested in like defeating this one beast, and like, okay, you know, Corey has to describe this, how they're going to throw their spear exactly, and where exactly on this critter is it going to hit, and blah blah blah. And then depending on how you roll, maybe you have to give more description, or you know, whatever it is. And I would think it would really help a lot with like anxiety and decision making, because if it's like, okay, like we have one of those little like the gamer hourglass things, the little ones that like come with whatever taboo or something, then it could really help with that, where like public speaking or something like that. I could see it really, because I mean, my brother plays Dungeons and Dragons, and he really loves it, but has always really struggled with like public speaking and giving presentations, because he struggled in school. I mean, he had a really hard time. He was just mercilessly bullied. And so like making a presentation in front of class is like, well, I would rather just rip my face off with a dull knife than do that. So just give me the 0 and I'll move on with my life.
Yeah.
And I think it really has, because like he's very involved with the union at his work, and he was on the news apparently, like talking about something, and like was like preparing to give a speech at the like meeting, the proxy meeting, and all this stuff, and like just these things that like I know like never would have
I love that,
or assumed that like that would be something that he's into, and yet here we are. And so, but I think that probably has a lot to do with it, because when you have to make these decisions, it makes you a lot more confident in because I don't think it's necessarily that folks who struggle with public speaking or struggle with decision making can't make a decision. I think it's like that anxiety of like, well, I made the wrong decision. Are they going to make fun of me? Am I going to say the wrong thing? There's like these other things that go into it. It's not that I don't know what I want to do. It's that I'm getting like distracted by all these possible outcomes from what I want to do.
Yeah.
And like, that's preventing the decision from actually being made or implemented. And that's really interesting. I still want to play Dungeons and Dragons. I still think it would be fun. If
I do
we
too.
all
I do
played.
too. Yeah. And I just thought it was really cool too, because outside of like there's really not a lot of opportunities to work through those things as a group, like with peers.
Yeah.
Outside of like a, group therapy session, which I don't really know how accessible that is for a lot of people.
I don't even know. Yeah, like outside of like an inpatient setting where you would
right. Or unless you have
or I
like,
guess, like AA or something.
right. Or if there's like a specific thing. But I mean, for ADHD, for autism, I don't really know that you're going to find like a group setting.
Right. Because the answer is just to take less Tylenol. So
yes. When you're pregnant, that's the answer. So I just thought it was like, I was listening to it and it was like very heartwarming because you heard all these people. Like, I think it's also a little disarming to be able to work through something in a less serious setting too. Like,
yeah,
you're not, I don't know, like seeing a new therapist would always make me like very anxious. Like, oh, fuck, no, I gotta go through like, this person, all the details and go through all the same dynamics and explain everything. It's just exhausting. So I think the fact that they can like go and they're, especially for kids, like you're playing a game and it's not like anybody putting you on the spot in front of a group and forcing you to talk about your feelings.
Well, and even for adults, I mean, like the PTSD type thing of like, oh, I got to go to therapy. And this week we're supposed to talk about XYZ. And like, she said she wanted to unpack, how I reacted to Christmas at my mother's house or something like, ugh, and like dreading it as opposed to just having an activity. And actually we went to a comedian last night, Drew Lynch, who if you don't know who that is, right? I don't think
I might like if I saw a clip, but
so he is a comedian. He was on like America's Got Talent or something, but he ended up with a stutter because he was in like a rec softball league and he was shortstop and the ball like hit the ground and went into his neck and he fell backwards and like hit his head on a rock and got a concussion. And he ended up with like a nerve damage issue that was affecting his vocal cords. Yeah.
That's wild.
Yeah, so he's more or less pretty much overcome it. There were some stutters last night, but it was like he was talking about things very quickly and had a stutter, just like that one. And but he was talking at one point about speech therapy, and he said that when you're doing speech therapy, they often have you doing something else so that you're thinking about something else while you're trying to say the word. And he was like changing his shoes or whatever. And so he was like this, like you're tying your shoelaces or like petting a cat or like you're doing something else with your hands
right
while trying to say the word. And it's, I think, similar with like Dungeons and Dragons. You're like rolling dice, you're moving these cards, you're taking notes, you're doing all these other things. And then you are able to, get your amygdala distracted with something else.
Right.
So that you can process.
And they also, one of the other things they talked about was sometimes it's beneficial for them to not just create a character, but they're creating a character that is supposed to be as much like them as they can so that it allows, so then you're also not, how would this character be responding to this with their personality traits? It's like you're able to respond to it from more of like a gut. Like what feels right to you. And also then like so much more applicable when you're dealing with real life situations after that. And you're thinking back to these examples that you had while you were in this therapeutic group. I just thought it was like the coolest thing. I was like, that is what a cool way to like meet people where they're at and like find something that like works for people. And because there's just times where like cognitive behavioral therapy has limitations. I know like for me, like there are definitely times where like going to therapy, like I will feel better after I go. But there's other times where I'm like,
when
I remember the appointment and I don't completely forget about it. After I've had to reschedule it like twice. But there's also times where I'm like, I can sit and talk about this and my circumstances are not going to change. And it does there are times where I get frustrated with it because I'm like, Like getting into it is more tiring than just dealing with the issue. So I think that this was just like, I heard that story and I was like, that is so cool. What a cool way to be using some of the same things that you would glean from cognitive behavioral therapy, but in like a way more dynamic, interesting way that I think might stick with people more than just talking through something.
Well, and you're making friends. So you're building another connection with somebody who knows kind of what you're going through. And, you know, is able to at least not only understand like, oh, this person also struggles with PTSD or whatever, but you know, as you go through it together, you know, it's that human connection thing.
Yes. And a time where it's appropriate for you to make friends with somebody, as opposed to like therapy. You're not supposed to, you're not supposed to be friends with your therapist. Like, you know, in this setting.
Which is so rude because I am very fun. And I'm
so fun. I know. I know. Same problem.
Although my therapist and I at my last appointment, we did have a really good time roasting some people that I stumbled upon on TikTok. Not really stumbled upon, people that were pointed out to me by TikTok. And we had a really good time roasting them together. So
I love that. Yeah. Sometimes that's therapeutic.
Yeah. I do have to watch the new Diddy documentary though, because she was bummed that I hadn't watched it yet and she wanted to talk about it.
It's crazy. It's crazy. How is our fighting fascism going?
I don't know. I have kind of reached the point where I might need to delete social media because it is really, I'm struggling with my need to stay informed and my need to you know, also stay alive and like not just
drown,
implode. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. No, it's a very hard time to be engaged and following the news without drowning in it because it's times is bad.
Yeah. So, I mean, you guys are hearing this in May, but if you recall in the first week of March, the very tail end of February, the U.S. Began invading, I guess, Iran.
And we're not really sure what it is because it was not a congressionally sanctioned action. So,
nope. And it won't be, and nothing will happen to anybody as a result of it.
Right.
And at least as of this morning, nobody in the United States has been arrested for raping children. So that's where we are. And it's that Andre, what's his face clip I sent you, or that you sent me.
Oh, that Eric Andre clip. Yes. Where he's like screaming about, how everybody that created Windows 95 is eating 10-year-olds and we're just fucking going about our business.
Yeah. Although I did have a chat. So there's this guy I follow on Instagram who, like, we matched on a dating app years ago when so he's in Canada somewhere, but I was out in Buffalo for work. And so like by the time I went back on the app, I was back in Albany, but like we were chatting and then we were like, why is it saying that you're like 300 miles away? Where the fuck are you? And so anyway, we still follow each other on Instagram, and he posted something. And so like I replied to his stories and I replied it and we were chatting a bit and I was like, because he basically said something to the effect of like, I can't believe that there just hasn't been an armed rebellion at this point. And I said, in my opinion, there won't be. It's just that I think the US will collapse like a water balloon on impact, that it's just going to like suddenly burst and that'll be it. But I was like, I also think that like New England, New York, maybe parts of PA and New Jersey will get absorbed into Canada. and, you know, perhaps some other northern border states. And then the mid zone, I think the West Coast will converge and whatever, have their own little country. But the rest is just going to be like fallout, basically, and just no man's land. And he did say something. He's like, actually, that would probably be pretty easy to do since you're already plugged into our power grid. And I was like, okay, there's hope.
Oh yeah, I think what having little kids right now is like, you don't have a choice but to be, I just like have to be optimistic about it, because otherwise how the fuck am I just going to get up and keep doing the same thing every day?
Yeah.
But I've just like fully adopted this attitude of like, this is the beginning of the fall. Like empires come to an end, and I would love to think that this ends in matriarchy. It may not. It probably won't. But you know what? There is no harm in me fucking telling myself that.
No.
So I'm just going to keep telling myself that that's what's happening, and that's what we're working towards. Right. And I will keep, you know, doing whatever community building, neighborly kind things I can in the meantime, and making sure I'm raising a kid who's not being fucking particularly kind to me right now, but will be kind to other people when she's not a toddler anymore.
You hope.
Be ruthless, but also fucking be kind to people. Which is it, and it is a hard, there's like hard concepts to teach, but you know, she's got time to learn them. And right now we're just focusing on like, let's not swing first. Please.
My mom told me that she bit a man in a bar a few weeks ago.
A few weeks ago?
Because of what he said about Trump. And I was like, we were out to dinner last night because she came with us to the comedy show. And I was like, is this your way of telling me you have a court date coming up? And she was like, no. And I was like, are you sure you didn't get arrested? And she's like, yes, I'm sure. But she was like at a bar with my uncle, and the guy, not my uncle, this other guy, said something, and she did not elaborate on what this guy said about Trump, but she like turned, they were like sitting 3 in a row at the bar, and she like turned and bit him on the arm. And I was like, and so she's telling this story, and I like said to PK, I was like, see, it's not so bad that I do haymakers.
That is like the ultimate letting the intrusive thought win.
Oh,
like,
for sure.
The number of times where I've thought to myself, like, actually sometimes my spouse and I will say to each other, like, I could bite you right now. I'm so mad at you. I can't.
My mom does.
I can't. Like, I absolutely can believe it, but also can't believe it at the same time. That's one of my favorite things I've ever heard in my whole life.
So
I thought this was going to be a story from like when she was in her 20s and she bit somebody.
In February of 2026.
I love that for her. I also love that this man was so big and brave that he didn't press charges.
Yeah. I guess she told him that he has got enough meat on him. He's fine.
So she bit him. Then he was like, ow, what'd you do that for? And she was like, you're fine.
You got enough meat on you. You're fine.
That's psychotic. I love it. I love it. Oh, man.
So,
hey, you know what? More of that needs to happen. These dudes got to be checked.
Those posts that are like, we are the daughters of the women that they didn't burn is very true. I am also the daughter of someone somewhere that was burned alive.
Oh, yeah, I have zero doubt. Zero doubt. Like, I and truly, God bless whoever has to govern my child after I do, because, whew, wow. How many times a day I literally go, can you hear me? You can hear me. Okay, so you're just choosing not to listen to me. Yeah.
2.5 is a wild time.
It's been rough times over here. Also, forgot we were springing ahead, so I was fucking very disoriented this morning.
I also forgot, to be fair. But
oh my God.
Is your child in her own bed, or in the bed, versus the cream?
No. No, we're still working on it. We're just like in between some stages right now. So it's just
that transitional thing where it's like me with trying to eat food.
Yeah.
Like you just really want to get to the next step, but you can't. And so you're just waiting.
Yeah. I feel it's like multifactorial. Like she needs to maybe be listening a little bit better. And, but we're also like working on potty training. So it's just like there's just a lot of flux at the same time.
Yeah.
And we're also at a stage where like we can't fucking go outside. So everybody's a little stir crazy. And even though we're in March up to, before the last, 2 days, it's been cold as fuck and like snowing.
Yeah.
So there's
going to be like in the 50s and 60s all this week.
I did hear that. Yeah.
So
which is great.
It's going to be rainy, but it will be warm.
Oh, it'll be poop soup outside, but at least it won't be snowing and 5 degrees. Because it was literally like 3 or 4 days ago was like 7 degrees when I woke up in the morning. Like it's just been very cold. It's been a really unrelenting winter. And there's been like illness going through the house. So like I can't bring her to the library when she's contagious. So
why not? Oh she had to get it from somewhere. Someone else is going to have to get it.
Fuck. We're almost there. We're almost there. We had a bout of croup, ear infection, upper respiratory infection that resulted in a dose of amoxicillin, which resulted in what is called serum sickness, which is something I had never heard of.
Serum sickness sounds like what happens to my hair when I use too much heat protector.
Yeah. Yeah, it sounds like when I get greasy.
Yeah.
They said
it actually looks terrible.
It was horrible. She had like 103 fever, like unrelenting fever, terrible pain, to the point where the only way to control her pain was to give her Motrin and Tylenol every 3 hours around the clock. Swollen hands and feet, the craziest. She literally looked like a medical textbook, the craziest rash I've ever seen in my life. Like her skin she had such a bad rash. Her skin was like a purpley gray color, like on her back.
Ugh.
It was, her face was swollen. Like it was just fucking crazy.
It's also crazy because like if I had a rash like that as an adult, I would take a really cold shower. But you can't do that with a child. Because they don't understand why
I got like
so cold.
I got her some of the Aveeno makes like a oatmeal colloidal bath or something for like rashes. So I tried to get that.
Is it colloidal silver or colloidal oatmeal?
I think it's colloidal oatmeal.
Okay. Is the only colloidal thing silver? Like what?
I don't know. I have no idea. It just said colloidal. That's all I know. I didn't even read details on it. I was like, that's fine. This is fine. It's Aveeno. It'll be fine. And I tried giving her a cool bath a couple times and she would just like, she was in so much pain that just like pulling down underwear to pee was like too much because the pants sliding. And she's normally like up my butthole all day, every day, and didn't even want to be touched. So it was just like, it was so sad. It was so pitiful. We also had to take her to the pediatric emergency room, which was not great. I mean, the experience was as good as it could be. Like the care was very good, but
you're still at the ER though.
Yeah, it was still the ER with a sick, very pissed off toddler. She had one of her longest meltdowns I think she's ever had. She screamed in my face for about an hour. And she also had napped
in your husband's face. And then...
I actually brought my mom with me. My spouse doesn't, like, in a medical setting, he gets very anxious and then he gets very quiet, which
is not.
I do the opposite. So like when I'm in that setting, I need to like, I'm like chatty because I'm anxious.
Yeah, but if you're chatty and the person you're with is silent, that's a nightmare.
It's a bad combination.
Yeah.
So I asked my mom to go with me instead because I was like, I think we might do better that way. And I think we did. I think ultimately it was probably for the better. Plus, like he was able to
nurse, which is also a little bit helpful in case you do miss something or whatever.
Right. And I think also like he was able to like take care of our normal house stuff that he would be taking care of. So like we didn't come home to then a bunch of things we had to do. So all in all, like it ended up being fine and she's like healed, but it was fucking crazy. And that reaction lasts like 5 or 6 days, which also meant that I got to take a unexpected week off work, which is great when you have a lot of work to do. So I saw a tweet the other day and it was like, I love being a working mom because it feels like I'm failing at 2 things. Yeah, that's kind of where we're at.
Man.
But she is back at school, thank God. And it's almost spring and the time changed and we sprung ahead and I narrowly survived it this morning and Trump is near death. So
yeah, my mom thinks that his rash, again, maybe by May we'll have an answer to this, but my mom thinks that his rash is from radiation. So she thinks that he's getting radiation. And
I hadn't heard that theory, but that's true. That does look like very similar to a radiation rash.
PK showed me something where somebody said, I think it's like a lymphoma rash. But it does kind of look like a radiation rash, but I don't know, maybe lung cancer. I don't know why you'd be getting radiation on like the upper part of your
head.
Back. Yeah. I mean,
I do follow
syphilis. There's plenty of room for the tumors to grow in that Swiss
That's true.
cheese
Lots of
brain
holes.
So.
I do follow a guy who's a doctor of physical therapy. And he's been doing these updates on because he specifically works with geriatric patients. So he's been doing updates on Trump for a while and giving updated timelines. And like for a while, it was like 6 to 8 months. And now we're down to like 2 to 4. And one of his theories, he thinks that he had, when he like disappeared around Labor Day, that he had like a massive stroke. And then he's been having these MRIs as like follow-ups and he's been getting these infusions, which is why he's so bruised. But he's also got the, like the swelling in his ankles and
the piss bag. The piss bag.
Yes. And diaper. But when he gave the State of the Union, when he was talking at 7 different points, I didn't watch it because,
me neither.
What's the point?
I was in the hospital, but yeah.
Yeah. You want to make it worse.
Yeah, I was already happy.
Not great. He had 7 different tonsil stones come flying out of his mouth while he was talking, which is disgusting.
He must have the most rancid of breath.
I think he just stinks. Like he's in a diaper, like he's, tonsil, like you can't tell me. So he thinks that he thinks he has frontal lobe dementia. And that now his swallowing is compromised. And that's why he's got so many tonsil stones. Because he literally is like losing his swallowing mechanism.
Why can't he lose his speaking mechanism?
I know.
When does
he's not far off? I mean, you look at him and it's like
Venezuela's.
Yeah, I mean,
wife to open the UN.
Oh my God! I mean, the facial droop, like
it's not like you're sending like Michelle Obama to open the UN,
right? Like an Ivy League educated, right?
In every aspect.
Right. Or Hillary. Like, I mean, although I will say, watching Hillary in those hearings, chef's kiss.
I can't believe she didn't swear when she found out that they were posting pictures. I would have.
And man, she performed. And it's just so funny. Like, I watched that. We had to Google how old she was versus how old Bill is because Bill looks roughly 30 years older than her. She looks fucking fabulous, by the way.
No, they're about the same age.
They are. There's like a year between them. Yeah. And she looks easily 15 years younger than him. He's aging in dog years. And
well, couldn't have happened to a more deserving guy.
Truly. Like here she is like so prepared, so like just like firm. And I don't think she had shit to do with Jeffrey Epstein. No. But he, on the other hand, they're like showing pictures and he's looking at them smiling. I'm like, you dumb motherfucker. You dumb motherfucker. So anyway.
Yeah, no, I saw that and I was like, I mean, again, though, nobody has a Clinton hat or a Clinton flag or a room decorated in Clinton paraphernalia that they would need to discreetly dispose of if Bill or Hillary were charged or arrested with any crimes
Right.
related to, you know, eating and raping children or whatever.
See ya.
And so it's just like it's that sort of thing where like PK and I were talking about it last night actually, and the because we have some relatives that are very committed to supporting Trump and very committed to only watching Fox News. And but those people know not to bring up any of that stuff around me because I'll check them on it. And I do it in a very autistic way where I just say the fact and tell them they're wrong, as you highlighted in your maid of honor speech.
Yes, she sure does.
And so but we were talking about how like basically it's getting to the point where it's like, okay, well, the only time that we'll see this person is when the two of us are together seeing this person, because they're not going to say any of that shit in front of me. They might say it in front of PK. And
I bet not much longer though.
I don't think so. I think it is petering out, because he is also getting to the point where he's like, do you have Google? Like, I know you have Google. Like, just look it up. I mean,
it's willful. It's willful at this point. Yeah.
This person also didn't know that we gave $20 billion to Argentina and like called PK a liar about it. And PK was like driving them somewhere and was like, okay, well, you have your phone, look it up, Google it right now. And so he read it, and I think PK said like, oh, they want to give $40 billion to Argentina. And he was like, so he Googles it and he's like, it says we only gave him 20 billion. And I was like,
listen to the words coming out of your mouth.
What's the next sentence? Oh, they're considering another 20 billion. So that would make 40. And also it's $20 billion.
Right.
Like,
right. Hey,
what?
like
It's
they
like
were
monopoly money to
they cut people off from food. They cut families off from food, saying they can't afford it. Mm-hmm. I mean, there's no, and that's what like, and that's why I just think like we've reached the like late stage capitalism. Like they're a cancer.
Yes.
And the only thing that like, I don't want to say the only thing that gives me hope, but something that gives me a lot of hope is they are all close to death.
Well, and
at least enough of them.
Something that was like, it was basically like pointing at like Mitch McConnell and all these old as fuck
can't
people
even fucking walk
saying, like,
into
look what's possible with universal health care.
Truly,
you can stay alive forever. And but it was,
and
like,
to make
so
it bipartisan, look at Dianne Feinstein. How many years was she like not even showing up?
Oh my god,
because her health was so bad.
Fucking Stephen Hawking in a chair without a computer.
Right.
Like, Jesus Christ.
No, we are equal opportunity haters. I mean,
there should be term limits, but there should be age limits. There's age limits for, at least in New York, for judges. And there should be. Like, at a certain point, you have no vested interest in the outcome of the decisions you're making.
Right.
Because, like, a budget bill, for example, doesn't go into effect for another 10 years. So what the fuck do you care? You're not going to be here.
Yep.
You're going to be a mummified relic sitting at your desk in the
crypt
Senate
keeper
while the fucker in Texas votes for you.
Yes.
So,
it's I will just keep telling myself that the end is nigh. And you know what? I used to be like scared of the thought of like some kind of revolution happening, and I'm like, we're due. These fuckers got to go.
I saw something that was like a picture of a guillotine, and it called it a bipartisan equalizer.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah.
I mean, it's at the point where you read some of the details in the Epstein files, which, I mean, specifically, I can speak as a parent. Like, I don't want that information in my head. Like, I don't want to read about what these men were doing to children, but I feel like it is my responsibility to read what these men were doing to children, because the only way to stop it is to like shed light on it.
Yeah.
So yeah, if you need me, I will just be yelling at men, I guess.
And you know what? This summer, since you're basically leasing out your farm, you can always come over to my garden. And
I am going to do, I got some raised garden beds.
Oh, cool.
So I'm going to do like a kitchen garden for us because
cute.
Yeah. I also started
how
more
are your
seeds.
Seedlings doing?
Great, unfortunately.
I feel like my onions have
onions are hard.
My
onions
bunching
are really
onions
hard.
are doing well. My scallions are doing well, and my chives, but my regular onions, they were doing great in their initial starter, and then I transferred them to slightly larger peat pots, and they did less great. So I don't know.
Onions are hard.
Yeah,
I did get onions last year.
Honestly, I think I might just get some onions from the store and put the roots in the ground and go from there.
I think I got red onions, but I didn't get yellow onions because I bought the wrong. It's very variety specific.
It is.
Like what will do well, and I bought the wrong variety, and then I realized after I did my seed starting, I used the ones from last year.
And those onions grew in like the worst climate, so I don't understand why I can't grow onions.
Yeah, it's they're hard to grow.
Lied to me.
The amount of time I spent reading about growing onions last year and watching YouTube videos on growing onions, and I think I got 4. So no, onions are hard.
Yeah.
Potatoes are fun. I have potatoes actually if you want some.
Oh, sure.
Leftover
I might
from
do
last
some
year.
Potatoes. I have some I got like grow bags. So I'm very much expanding the garden this year, so that'll be interesting. Although PK last night let Coco out before we left to go to the show, and he like came back in and he was like, "Do we have a flashlight?" And I was like, "Yes." So I hand him the flashlight, and he's like, "I saw like something move by the back shed," and I was like, "Well, better you than me to investigate that one."
Good luck. Bon voyage.
Like, there's a huge burrow, and I was like, "The one that's been there." Because I mow the lawn, so like I'm.
It's just a very husband thing. Yeah, it's just a very husband thing.
He's like, it was huge, like whatever it was. So I think it might have been the raccoon that walked by a couple years ago. That or it could be, I suppose, the groundhog that we had.
The hog could be back, yeah, because we're having some spring-like weather. So I think they might be coming out of hibernation.
Yeah, getting ready to get horny and have their kids. So yeah, I'm gonna have to get some dry ice and big like bricks or whatever to put over the hole so that we can just quietly kill them.
Yeah, I mean, I'm overrun by raccoons right now, so.
You are. Folks, Garet sent me a video from the Ring camera or whatever in their one of their barns that has the cat food station, and these 2 raccoons were walking through, and I said it looks like they were like when you go to like see a house, like a open house or something, and you're like, "Oh, our mattress would fit here. Do you think this would fit our couch?"
100%.
Like, it looked like casing it, but like casing it to see if their furniture would fit.
Yes,
they were just like, interesting.
These motherfuckers. I had
about this backsplash.
a big metal garbage can with a very heavy rock on the top of it, to keep it closed so that they couldn't open it. That had like dry, like the starter feed for chicks and cat food, and they knocked the whole thing over, opened the lid, and ate everything. And I know because the bag of cat food was on the other side of the barn.
So they got stuck in it and ran around.
Probably. Like I literally will come outside and I'm like, raccoons. Like I immediately know because they are dirty. They're little.
Oh yeah. I mean, I had their footprints all over my car back when I was.
Oh yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
They were like having a fucking rave on my car every night.
Yes, they truly go out, and it's like we're one step away from like, and they're just like out there dancing. Like it is just. So I guess if you need me, I'll be being mean to men and trying to fight raccoons.
Yes, and before we get any comments, yes, raccoons are a protected species in New York State. However, not on farms and not for farmers. And Garet lives and owns and runs a farm. So
Yeah, they
Stop right now before
no, there
whatever
are
message you were about to send, delete it.
there are like nuisance laws that protect farms. I am afraid that the one of these raccoons is going to kill our barn cat. Because she's quite petite and she doesn't need to be dealing with these fucking big chunky raccoons.
I don't know that raccoons really fuck with cats too much.
I don't either, but these fuckers
Fisher
are big.
Cats will fuck with cats.
Yeah.
And we've gotten a few posts about those on our Ring neighborhood alerts.
I worry about those all the time.
But yeah.
And a raccoon will for sure take out our entire flock. Like in a night, they could wipe out like a whole flock.
Eat the birds, or do they just eat? They go for the eggs.
They go for the eggs, but they'll kill the birds.
Okay, right.
And apparently they're like especially vicious. They'll like rip heads and shit. So,
well, that's how you kill it. So
yeah, I don't know
I
how.
saw Chicken Run.
I don't know how well Wanda would respond to that, but
pretty bad, I think.
Wanda's also like a pretty chill rooster. Like does their job, but I don't know if Wanda would be really ready to throw down with a raccoon. So, although Wanda's pretty big.
Wanda's pretty big and so pretty.
I know.
He's
Wanda's
such a pretty boy.
I know.
And for those who don't recall or who aren't on Patreon, Wanda is spelt like Wanda.
Yeah, Juanda.
Garet thought it was a female at first and kept talking to me about how these beautiful iridescent neck flowers and plumage were coming in, and then eventually realized that it was a rooster.
Every morning I would come in like, God, I wonder if that's a rooster. And then I go to leave for work one morning and I walk outside just as Wanda crowed. And I was like, okay.
Got this huge waddle and this,
rooster. That was the crazy part is like all of the like telltale signs that you look for to identify a rooster were not there until we got another rooster. And then suddenly Wanda was like, a rooster. And we had the full
That's
comb.
kind of what happens with lions. As well. When they
it was very
hit
similar
puberty,
to that.
It's like, which I feel like is probably just males in general. Like,
yes,
once there's like competition, then they like ramp up their testosterone and just like Pete Hesgeth their life away.
Yes. Fun fact: when roosters in the spring are really full of testosterone, their legs turn red.
It's like the opposite of blue balls.
Yeah, well, probably because they don't have balls.
Yeah. Do you expect any fertilized eggs?
No, I'm not letting any nothing's gonna sit that long.
Oh, okay.
No more babies from these animals. It was our other chicken started laying, which is very exciting, but like baby animals they're just so much work. Actually, chickens really are very little work. Ducks are a lot of work.
Yeah.
The water factor with ducks is just a lot. It's a lot.
I'm excited to see your ducks enjoy their enclosure and their little pond like for a full season.
Yeah, they're really. I mean, I love the ducks and they're so cute. And I would want ducks forever, but they're just such a the water is such a thing. It's just such a thing. And they also flee from me like I've harmed them in some way, which couldn't be further from the truth. So
I know you didn't watch it, but in Friends, Joey and Chandler have a chicken and a duck at one point in their apartment in New York City, because it's an apartment in New York City, which like looking back, it was like, oh, what a funny thing. And then I'm like, having been an adult and in apartments, I'm like, yeah, absolutely. There was somebody in my last apartment building that had a chicken and a duck, I'm sure. Or like some sort of weird fucking animal that like they're not supposed to have.
Yeah, you had weirdness in your last apartment building.
That
for
was
sure.
a wild. I mean, the one guy that was like losing it right before I moved out, more or less, that was the one where I was like, okay,
throwing things out the window and hiding from the cops.
Throwing a case of water off the roof.
Yeah.
Where like I was like, that would kill somebody if it hit it. Like a full case of water. Like,
yeah,
the fuck? Like just insane. And like throwing, oh God, it was so noisy too. Anyway.
Yeah, it was bad.
But in Friends, they had their chicken and duck, and they had like almost like a 10-gallon like galvanized steel bucket in their living room with water in it, and the duck was just like paddling around. So it had enrichment in its enclosure. So
And then they explosively shit. And then you're like, what am I doing?
they never featured that in Friends.
I'll tell you, our Pekin duck, our big white duck, mozzarella, there have been times I have gotten them up in the morning and let them out, and she has taken such a vile dump that it has ruined my morning. Like the entire enclosure stinks. Like I'm dry heaving, walking around. Like she's literally ruined mornings with her dumps. So
remember when she had an entire stick shoved up her nose?
I do remember that.
That was crazy.
I do remember that. And I don't think she's laid eggs since she laid her last double. I can't tell. Like we got a good size egg the other day, and I can't tell if it's her or not laying. But yeah, it's.
Well, I mean, I would take a break after tearing my birth canal, my cloaca.
Yeah, she. There's something funky with her ovulation. She's like constantly laying double yolk eggs,
which has PCOS.
She might. And I'll tell you, those eggs are the size of an avocado. They are so big. An avocado, like a full avocado.
Makes my butthole hurt to think about.
Yeah, hers too.
Yeah. Speaking of ovulation, I had to go off my birth control before the surgery, and I still haven't gone back on it. And this is the first time that I've been off birth control since I was 15. And
it's rough.
Yeah, you know what? I thought I had a high sex drive before, and it turns out I really wasn't experiencing like a true ovulation stage of the cycle.
I've never had that. I just
and I can't have sex unless like PK wants to like double wrap, because I'm not risking that right now. No way.
Don't double wrap because it causes friction and they tear. But it took me like a few months for the like, I felt like a raw nerve. Like my emotions were, oh my God, that was a really, really hard transition. Really hard transition.
I think I was watching True Blood and I cried.
Oh yeah. That's a birth control. 100%. I went off birth control like the week before George Floyd was killed. Okay. And like, I remember I had some kind of appointment and I was like kind of friends with the person I had the appointment with. I think it was like acupuncture or something.
You were like, 2 months into COVID, now's the time to play with my hormones.
Yeah. I remember saying something to her like, I think the world is ending. And she was like, the world's not ending, I promise. And I was like, no, I think it is. I'm still not convinced I was wrong. But it was like, I just like everything made me, and not just like cry, like sob. And I'm not really a crier. And I was like sobbing at everything.
Although maybe I am, because
coming off birth control the doctor will be like, I think you should come off the pill, and you're like, okay. And then you do, and you're like, what the fuck?
I have never been told that. I asked our doctor about it once because my mom was freaking out when I was like 25 about losing my ability to ovulate. And because I guess that was an issue with the OG pill in the 70s, because it was a much higher dose of estrogen.
Way higher dose, yeah.
Than currently. So I asked our doctor about that, and she was like, no, that's not a thing. And so I was never told like, oh, you need to take like a tolerance break for birth control.
And I know some people do. Some people will like, once a year, like one season a year, will like go off the pill to like, I don't know, clear from I don't fucking know. I used to take them back to back so I didn't get my period.
Yeah.
Coming off of it, I was like
really like living life on the edge.
Yes. It really shocked me how intense it was coming off the pill.
Yeah. Yeah, it hasn't been so crazy, but also I haven't been eating. So it's like,
oh yeah. It makes it even worse.
What I would probably turn to normally is food to accommodate my hormones. And now I'm just like very stir crazy. So much so that like, so we took, when we moved in here almost 3 years ago now,
oh my God.
I know, isn't that nuts? We took some of the framing off the doorway to the kitchen so that the new oven could be brought in. And as a result, the trim and everything like left marks on the wall, and it's just been that way. So it looks half finished and unpainted and whatever. And so I've been home for a few weeks. So I was like, I'm going to finish spackling that, and I'm going to sand it, and I'm going to paint it so that it looks, at least in the living room, appropriate. And I did that, and I got the dust on every single solitary surface in our house. I put up plastic sheeting, and it just didn't work.
Doesn't matter.
And I also hadn't taken my meds, so I was like, close enough, and just went for it. And PK came home on Friday and almost had a nervous breakdown. Like, I think he didn't say that he was considering divorce, but like he did finally sit down, and he was like, it's just a lot because I need my hands to be clean, and there's not a single thing I can touch that's clean in this place. And I had kind of like half-assed cleaned up some bits because then I lost interest in what I was doing. And so
yep.
Yeah, that's where I've been the past few days, because again, like, and with this weather, because it's poop soup outside, I don't really want to go for a walk and then be covered in mud
right up the backs of your legs.
Exactly. Or like get the little rocks in my shoes and then, like over the edge. So I actually did get like a Zumba membership, so I can at least do like indoor dancing or whatever. So I have to charge the iPad so that I can like go into the basement and do it. Where we have floor space. But so I have to do that. But I was just like, and so he said
it's almost like you get like overstimulated by just like seeing those things. Yes. That's how I start every project.
Yep. And PK said that because I was like, well, I didn't take my meds because he had to pick them up for me on his way home from work. And so I didn't take my Vyvanse, and he was like, I'm just picturing you sitting here during the day, like, just vibrating. And I was like, I mean, pretty much. Like, I take naps to try to distract myself, but I can't really sleep because I guess I have a normal circadian rhythm at the moment. And so there's no napping happening. And
so much of what's making you fatigued is like going to work.
Yes.
Like, when you're off work, not as tired.
I did have my
I could nap at any given moment, but
but you are not allowed to by your toddler.
No, she's so mean sometimes.
I had my smartwatch off when I was in the hospital. But before I went into the hospital, it was the first time I had ever gotten my body battery up to 100. And so now I'm back down to like weird numbers.
I don't think I've ever had mine at 100.
Yeah, my body battery is at 27 at the moment, which I don't think is fair, but
I can have the most
get it up to 100 before.
I've had some really stressful days where my fucking Garmin says, "You've had an easy day. Consider doing a little exercise, you piece of shit." Like, that's literally what it says to me at the end of one of the most stressful days of my life.
We went to the outlets yesterday because PK wanted to look for some work clothes, like suits and stuff. And we get home afterwards, and my watch was like, "This has been a high stress period." And I was like, "I just bought a Le Creuset. I'm fine."
I'm great. Yeah, there's other times where I'm like,
did my de-stressing.
I'll literally just be like cooking dinner, and it's like, this period of high stretch has drained your battery. I'm like,
I feel like that's just because of your hypertension.
Like, it couldn't have anything to do with the toddler running in and grabbing my legs while I'm walking. Could that be why you're sensing high stress?
Does she grab things off the stove or not really?
We're getting there where she's she can reach now. So she's like trying to grab things off the counter. And it's like, between working in workers' comp claims and having a toddler, I'm basically an OSHA expert at this point. I could literally work in like accident prevention. And the number of times a day I have to like explain to her that what she's doing is unsafe. And my first job before anything else is to keep her safe. And if she doesn't listen, she can get hurt. It's like 5. I don't think one of the things that people don't tell you about parenting is how often you just spend repeating yourself.
Oh no, I've heard that a lot about parenting. Where were you?
Snapping. I was napping, trying to recover from repeating myself 10 bazillion times. It's just, we call her a goblin, and she is. It's goblin mode like a lot of the time. And now I think it's also, we're approaching that like 3-nager period of time, because she can also speak in complete sentences. So she will literally be like, no, I don't want to do that.
Okay.
And I'm like, I mean, I understand that, fair, but unfortunately, we have to wash our butt, so we have to do it. Also trying to peek at your vagina is another stage that we're in. So, we're just.
She wants to peek at your vagina, or she doesn't want
anyone's.
Oh, okay.
Anyone's, yeah.
Okay.
The doll, mine, her own, whatever. Yeah, it's a real. We're in it right now. Like, we are in the thick of it.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
You're gonna get a report from daycare that like there's like a group of kids that are like showing each other their genitals.
I don't know, but she did.
I feel like there's always a stage where they're like.
She did spank a stranger.
Okay. Like over her knee? Or
no, like just like spanked their butt when they bent over, which is one of those like, I need to not do that at home, I guess. Because there's times where I'm just like being playful with her. Like I used to like playfully like eat her toes, and I had to stop because she started biting. So I think we've now reached the point where.
Hey, but then when she's 70, she can go back to biting people in bars.
You know what? And I hope she does. I hope for her sake that she does. Because I love that freedom that your mom has now. That's great.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, she is untethered.
Yes, I love that for her. Oh, my God.
Man. Well, good episode, I think. Yeah. Good reporting.
Thank you. Oh, my God.
We'll be back in about 2 weeks with another episode. I think the aim is to have between 10 to 15 episodes for this season. So that should probably take us through the end of the summer as far as your listening is concerned. Make sure that you are following us on Instagram. We are at The Bar is Ankle High. We're also on TikTok at Ankle High Pod. We are here, sorry, and make sure you're leaving us a 5-star review wherever you listen. If it's a place where you can like write a review, that's extremely helpful. We always love that. And make sure that you're subscribed and that you tell your friends to subscribe, because it's nice. And what else are you gonna do? And
what a sales pitch.
Thanks. I'm so tired. We got home at like midnight last night, and then the clocks changed, so I don't even know how much sleep I got, like 3.5 hours or something. And I can't have an egg for breakfast, so I'm just gonna have my sad protein shake and then go take a nap, I think. But in any event, until next time,
Dungeon your dragons, and go fight a fascist. The bar's ankle high.
Because the bar is ankle high. Bye.